Welcome to the webinar Digital Humanities at Brill during Academic Book Week. My name is Marti Huetink, and I'm very happy that you all subscribed to this event. So, Digital Humanities, what is it? Every year, participants of the Day of Digital Humanities are asked for their definition of digital humanities when registering at the conference. The 2014 event alone produced more than 500 of these definitions, which vary from, quote, who the hell knows, unquote, via, quote, the span of activities between digitizing the humanities and humanizing the digital, unquote, to, quote, I define the digital humanities broadly, where humanists build things that could not be done without a computer, unquote. It is clear that the term digital humanities has evolved into an umbrella for diverse technology-enabled projects, and that there's no single answer to the question what it exactly is. As a publisher, we define a field by engaging with a certain community. DH scholars, though very diverse in terms of methodology and background, are doing original work in the humanities and social sciences in which software plays a significant role in analysis, interpretation, and academic output. We find those scholars in all fields we are publishing in, from African studies to theology. Due to the important role of data, the social sciences are traditionally more inclined toward digital research and interpretation methods than some other fields. And the same is the case with linguistics, which has a long history of applying computational research methods. So we would not call someone a digital humanist just because he published electronically with embedded videos and sound bites, or because he had a blog or online discussion group, or used electronic resources such as bibliographies or encyclopedias to do research. The notion that software plays a significant role is decisive in the definition and leads us to scholars that got a few steps further. Why is it relevant? It is to be expected that over the course of the next decade, all fields in the humanities and social sciences will become more digital. New research and data interpretation methods will be used alongside traditional techniques. The research output and assessments alike will reflect this development. Digital humanities is therefore not just a strong, growing new subject area in the humanities, it is also relevant on various levels. It will influence how researchers use primary sources and other textual documents. It will change their expectations of digital resources and modify the way they present their research results. And Brill wants to stay close to its core constituency in academia and follow closely what changes in research and higher education occur. With digital humanities becoming more mainstream, Brill wants not only to strengthen its position in the community and shape a visible profile, but also to develop strategies to better handle digital humanities projects and improve existing product lines by making them fit for the digital future. Brill should actively be involved in digital humanities because we need to know how scholars in our fields produce their research products and how they store their data. As a technologically savvy publisher in the humanities, Brill has been active in the digital humanities community for a number of years. A few book series and journals spread across several disciplines serve the community, and Brill cooperates with scholars by sponsoring special projects that fall under the DH category. Such initiatives typically originate in the publishing department and blossom independently of each other. Consequently, there is no standardized approach to handle such projects, and little cross-fertilization or long-term product development takes place. Sponsorship projects in particular bear the risk of not materializing into an actual product, application, or service with an impact on our revenue. We identified a number of core technologies which are likely to have a deep impact on research activities in the humanities and social sciences. Spatial software and GIS, pattern and image recognition, semantic technologies, and statistical analysis will impact research strategies in various fields, and therefore the form and nature of publications resulting from those research activities. Publications will show new features, will come with new user interfaces. The addition of data, software, and multimedia are believed to influence the publication culture in the humanities and social sciences. Publications will have to comply with user demands and FAIR principles. Brill is determined to play a leading role in the innovation of publishing in the fields it covers, and actively reaches out to partners in that endeavor. Hence the decision to appoint a program director for Digital Humanities. Speaking to you now, to begin coordinating all business development activities of the company in this area. I see 4 main tasks lying ahead of me. First is monitor new initiatives at Brill. Secondly, develop expertise internally. Third, create partnerships with leading DH centers globally. And last but not least, acquire new projects assisted by our acquisitions editors. So, after this introduction, I would like to show you some examples of existing digital humanities projects at Brill. The first one is the new SEG Pilot Site, and SEG stands for Supplementum Epigraphicum Grecum, and the bibliographic entity recognition tool that was developed for SEG. And the second example is the Making Sense of Illustrated Handwritten Archives project and the Monk software that comes with that project. The Supplementum Epigraphicum Grecum is an annual flagship publication of Brill, collecting newly published Greek inscriptions and studies on previously known documents. Every volume contains the harvest of a single year and covers the entire Greek world. SEG presents complete Greek texts of all new inscriptions with a critical apparatus. It summarizes new readings, interpretations, and studies of known inscriptions, and occasionally presents the Greek text of these documents. In the SEG Pilot Site project, we aim to develop a database and dedicated website and gain first-hand experience with data visualization, both to add real value to end users, particularly with regard to search and browse, and explore what requirements data and database pose on the Brill organization. Although the SEG content is used in this project, we use a generic approach so that results can be applied to other Brill products and websites. So, as far as the consumer interface is concerned, the results so far are these. There are 4 panels to use for searching and browsing with 4 types of visualization. One type shows which inscription is discussed in which publication using a timeline. One type shows inscriptions by year or period or of origin in a timeline. One panel shows the inscriptions by provenance on a map, and one panel shows the index terms in a word cloud. So each visualization helps to answer a question that a user of the SEG may want to ask. For instance, show me everything in the 10 most recent SEG volumes about inscriptions from Corinth from the 4th century CE. And you can make up a lot of other questions yourself, I think. All these four visualizations are interactive. So when you click on a place on the map, for example, a search is initiated for everything to do with that place. A change of search criteria in one of the panes will automatically show in the other three. And in all cases, the actual search results, the SEG entries, are listed at the bottom of the page. So this interactive data visualization allows for a smooth combination of advanced search and intuitive browse options. As said, we use a generic approach, so we hope to be able to integrate this kind of visualization with other new Brill products. And it is something that is not used on our platform so far. A tool we developed to clean up the SEG data in the pilot is the bibliographic entity recognition tool. It identifies bibliographic information in the running text, such as references to monographs or articles. The tool corrects incorrect data, supplements missing data, and adds DOIs. The bibliographic data is subsequently encoded into the XML. So this is now being executed for a large number of SEG volumes. So this is how it works. The tool scans the running texts. It comes across a reference, an embedded reference like this, and adds it to the bibliography. Same goes for this one, makes a proper reference in the bibliography. Then the second example I'd like to show you this afternoon is the making sense of illustrated handwritten archives and Monk software. This project realizes a technologically advanced and user-friendly digital infrastructure to open up, enrich, and connect illustrated handwritten archives. It combines both image and textual recognition and allows for an integrated study of underexplored digitized scientific collections. And this approach is applicable across the cultural heritage domain. The project is driven by a further development of the so-called Monk software, developed by Professor Lambert Schoonmaker in Groningen. It's a word retrieval system by 24/7 machine learning. And the ultimate ambition is to evolve into a Google for handwriting. In this project, we're working together with a number of Dutch universities in Groningen, Leiden, and Twente, with Naturalis Biodiversity Center in Leiden. And it is financed by the Netherlands Organization for Scientific Research and Brill. So let's have a look at optical character recognition, OCR. defined as the process of segmenting a text image into individual character images and classifying each as being a letter in an alphabet. OCR shows impressive results on contemporary printed text in machine fonts. With some linguistic post-processing, results are close to 100%. But did OCR solve all our problems? Well, you may understand that the question is no, because OCR on historic documents doesn't work well. On handwritten manuscripts, it doesn't work at all. Problems here are image quality, unknown character shapes, unknown statistical language models, and at the same time we see that pattern recognition and machine learning make enormous progress these days. So when talking about handwriting recognition, we are looking at a solution that can handle many languages and many scripts over several historical periods. A system that is able to handle contractions of letters, can deal with sloppy letter shapes and with individual writer styles. And of course, that creates a problem with images. So if we go back to this image, a character, you can understand that when you use a sliding window, which first goes over the C and then the H and then the A and then the R, it works perfectly with OCR. But when you, for instance, go and look at this word over here, this sliding window for character search becomes very much problematic because, for instance, the C expands into the third character, which is an N over here. So exit OCR for handwriting recognition. So Monk, the software that we are developing within this project, takes the word as its starting point, taking into account that the word is a reliable chunk of information with many shape features. And if you have sufficient data, so a lot of scanned words, there is always a reasonable response on a query. So Monk doesn't promise perfection. It doesn't promise a 100% transcription. And it also doesn't promise exhaustive coverage like in databases. Next to all that, it still has to make use of human trainers. And this slide already shows how that will work. The two screens below are a sneak preview of the user interface screens. And it shows you that the system, the software, automatically segments the documents into separate lines. Humans then train the system by either transcribing complete lines, as you can see on the screen on your left. They can label word zones, or they can use a hit list for a single word. So in the screen on the right, the German word den is the target word. and words can be individually confirmed, then they turn green, or per visible hit list as a whole. So the use case in this project is the archive of the Natuurkundige Commissie voor Nederlands-Indië, held at Naturalis Biodiversity Center in Leiden. And it is a 17,000 page account of the exploration of the Indonesian archipelago. It contains thousands of handwritten notes and drawings, 10,000s of biological and geological specimens. And this collection and some of Naturalis' other archives are neatly digitized but not connected. They are difficult to access because it is shattered along the building in different parts, therefore shielded from the public. And it contains hard to read historical handwriting that is weakly structured. So the whole archive is impossible to handle or to consult without the help of experts. Now many of these handwritten pages are enriched with drawings and tables and lists, and in the next few slides I just wanted to show you some of the richness of this archive, because it's absolutely fantastic and beautiful. The languages used are German, Latin, Greek, Dutch, French and Malay. And as the field notes and drawings were composed by 18 different scribes, they contain a variety of drawing and writing styles and layout structures. So a few examples of these are shown here. So the ultimate project output will lead us to sets of recognized named entities. So that is the product of the automated handwriting analysis and image recognition process. Also, it will lead to extracted images of various shapes and kinds and orientations, etc., all taken from the historic accounts. And all of this will, in the end, after 4 years, because this project will run until 2020, will result in a creation of an ontology to improve the handwriting recognition accuracy. It will result in an annotated collection, cross-referenced with a network of Naturalis research resources, and hopefully that collection will be published in open access on one of the Brill platforms. And last but not least, it will result in a groundbreaking service to be licensed to the market by Brill. Also, as a result of this Digital Humanities project, a development towards a new role of Brill will be set in motion. So next to being a traditional academic publisher. And that is the role of a service provider for the academic community in a digital age. So I would like to leave it at that for now. As said, we are taking questions via the chat function. Also, you will find my email address on this last slide, so feel free to drop me a line if you want to. So I turn to my colleagues now to see whether we have questions. So Gregor asks, how much manual work does it require to correct inaccuracies of the bibliographic entity recognition tool? That's a very good question, and it of course very much depends on the source you are applying it to. but all kinds of checks and balances are built in to this tool, and the number of manual work is limited. So what does that mean? I think that per entry, it will take you only a few seconds to check and to add dots and corrections. So I hope this is a satisfying answer to your question. Any more? Someone, I don't know who, but someone asks, will these DH projects be open access? Well, that's a very good question with no simple answer. As said, the networked, digitized archive of the Natuurkundige Commissie for Nederlands-Indië, that is the use case in the Making Sense project, will be published in open access somewhere in 2020. The Monk software will be licensed by Brill, and because Brill is a commercial company, you might understand that we will not do that for free, and it is a way for us to recoup a little bit of the investment that we did in the project itself, which is huge. So Jonathan asks, who would be the human users verifying the isolated word identifications? Scholars? Subscribed users? Well, what we of course plan to do is license the Monk software out to institutions with holdings of handwritten archives or handwritten materials, and then we hope that scholars who are affiliated to these institutions, that they will actually help out and do the word spotting. Obviously, when you apply the Monk software to a certain domain and taking into account that it is a machine learning and a self-learning system, you may imagine that the learning curve is very, very steep. So, of course, you might respond that, well, that's nice. So you are asking us money to do the actual work. No, we are at present thinking of a business model where early adopters will actually get the system for a very, very low fee, and the fee will rise according to the level that the system is learning and making use of the amount of work that has gone into it. Daria asks, what websites would you recommend for a person interested in digital classics to begin with? There are so many interesting websites when it comes to digital humanities projects in the classics, but also in other fields. Let me think about it, and I will send you an email about this, and maybe some other persons can also send their suggestions via the chat function. So I'm sorry that I'm not able to answer this one on the spot, but I'm sure that I will be able to to answer it a little bit later to your satisfaction. Suzanne asks, does Monk work well with Arabic inscriptions? The good thing and the wonderful thing about Monk is that it works with all kinds of scripts. So it does not only handle Latin scripts, but also Arabic, Chinese. We, for instance, are now doing tests with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it works perfectly fine because it is based on word spotting and image recognition. It doesn't matter in what script a text is actually written. And the same, Laetitia, goes for non-Latin scripts then. And I think especially this feature sets Monk apart from other sort of solutions that are in the market now. Okay, I think that's it for now. I thank you very much for your attention. As said, if you want to review this or recommend it to one of your colleagues or friends, the presentation will be published on the Brill YouTube channel. For now, I wish you a very pleasant rest of your day, and thank you very much for your attention.